So, I mean, everybody wants to know.
That gives you time to
That's what
do
we're
everything
here.
you need to do, but it puts it in writing and saying that this is going to be done, you know, albeit there might be some time involved to get it all finished.
I'm tired of getting phone calls during the middle of, dinner hour. Is the house gonna have sewage and water? I mean, do you know if your house is gonna be, and did they have to be sold together? We heard this and we heard that. I'm tired of getting those phone calls. It's like,
That's small town though, I mean, that's.
I know, but.
I know, but it is
you know,
frustrating, I get it, but
Do we have to have a resolution to,
They're asking for one, it's up to the council, or the council's willing to enter into something like that, a commitment.
Well, without knowing that,
Regardless of the cost, you committed, you annexed in a property, it has to be provided water. The way that it was done on a 1-inch line connected to a commercial property is not the proper way of doing it. So in the action of annexing in that property, you guaranteed that property water. So I don't think we're asking, access to that water. It's,
Right.
and that's all we're asking for is that that line be run so that that property has access to water.
Sure, I understand that, but providing access is different than putting the pipe in, or what kind of pipe in, all the way from a main to the property itself.
How else would you provide access?
By opening up the main or opening up the main septic.
But is it not the town's responsibility to take it to the property line?
It's the town's responsibility regarding water to take it from the main to the curb stop.
Okay, and the curb
Okay.
stop will
And
be,
then the curb stop to the house or to the restaurant would be the owner's responsibility.
okay,
when we put the
That's
curbs
for
on
water.
property?
so the
Now,
curb,
for septic, putting in a new line, hooking up, then it's all the way from the property line or to that building to the main of the town.
right,
It's
so
the
a
responsibility of the
resolution
owner.
stating that that 2-inch line will be taken, or that even a separate 1-inch line for the property, something will be taken to the curb stop, which is at that property. Something stating that that property is going to be serviced with an individual line, not something that branches off a commercial property.
It's up to you guys.
And then we'll have to state it pending easements and everything like that, and put everything in.
Yeah, which is fine, we just want it to know it's getting done. You know, something in writing that we can give to a potential buyer that says, look, the town is guaranteeing that there is going to be a water line put in, but they have to jump through the hoops they have to jump through to get that done.
I think we have to do it. Unless we have to do it in order.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to word it correctly. There's a lot of it.
I think that legally, I'm advising you to stick with the ordinances that are in place as far as responsibilities for finances.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's why I'm concerned about, they put the meter down there in front of the tomahawk.
So
There is no meters in front of the tomahawk. There's no water
There are curb
meters
stops
on
or
the
whatever.
property at all.
Because the only meter we have is up there in front of
On
the
Harley.
On Harley.
The meter is on Harley.
Yeah.
We were told to put the curb stops in front of the tomahawk because we were told that we were gonna have separate meters there, that they were gonna run the line. That didn't happen.
Well, I guess my question is this, why in the world did they put the meter pit up on Harley?
Harley, that's what
That's where Eldo had to
That's-
put it in when Eldo did it. That's the original way back when.
I don't get that either, I don't.
yeah, even if the resolution has to say that it will be run to the curb stop for that property, that would be fine. You know, because we could get the curb stop put in place
We'll have a
and,
curb stop put in, that's no problem, we're willing to pay, and as a matter of fact, the engineer, everything that comes onto the property, it has to be done by certified plumbers, or commercial plumbers and certified engineers, drawings of how it's gonna be on commercial
and by
property.
stating it that way, it follows along with what the ordinances are for the town.
Well, the first thing we'd have to do is to get a legal opinion from our town attorney and also make arrangements to get the easement, and I'll try to get that done tomorrow. As soon as I can, I'll call and try and get that easement going so that we can get that for that.
Right, I understand there are hoops to be
And-
jumped through, but can we
And
get a
locating the
resolution?
lights is not gonna be a big
Right.
deal. We can do that. But, as far as a resolution committing the town to, saying that we're gonna put in a 2-inch line to this or that or the other thing, we couldn't do that tonight anyway. Those resolutions have to be voted on and they have to be, we have to have them all typed up and everything before the
Okay.
meeting. So,
Can we agree to put that resolution on the next meeting?
yes.
Yeah, let her be it on a special meeting if we can move a little bit faster.
Because yeah, we're not asking for something outside of ordinances, we're just asking for basically a commitment to do what's already in the ordinances. To provide a water line
Right.
from the main
Commitment
to
so
the
that
curb
you
stop.
know what you're gonna get. You know the house is going to be on the second.
So when we have people looking at the home, we're not telling them, well, we don't know when you're gonna get your water bill, because
That
currently
means-
the Tomahawk gets your water bill. You won't get your own, because you're not on your own
Even if we
meter.
passed a resolution tonight that says we've gotta do it, we still couldn't give you any idea.
And that's okay, time frame, we're okay with
Step one-
understanding there's,
Step one is the state,
Yeah.
locating water lines and getting, once we do that.
And we'll have to have a
bids.
meeting with Mrs. Melker and, so that we can get coordinated on timelines. Once we get the water lines located and decide where we're going to bring that new water line down, and I'm thinking the feasibility of it is easier than 90ing off of here and there, is to bring it right down the easement to the property line of the house.
That'll be right with me.
And then we can just come off of there to your curb stop, and your meter would be right there by the house.
Let's set up a special meeting in 2 weeks. That'll give us time to get that done, and that way she can.
that would be perfect.
That'd be
Is that
good.
right?
Yeah, because there's no reason we can't get lines located inside of 2 weeks.
Right. So we should be able to come up
I mean,
with
we
some
just,
information.
we can't just tell people that, she's worked really hard on trying to promote this house, and we've got 1,400 views on it, for God's sake. And, people are interested, you can't just tell them,
Maybe.
we don't know about
You
your
may or
water.
may not have water.
Yeah, it doesn't fly, and she's a professional, she's got legal obligations to her license to, be truthful with people, and it's sort of,
So let's set that meeting for, what,
Let's see, today's the 8th, we can do it.
July 27th?
That's Saturday, we can do it. The 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 29th, 30th.
Well, I won't be here until about the 28th or 9th, so we have to set it at least for the end of the month.
Well, we looked that up so we could read it.
Can't get it any sooner. I know it's already the weekend of July.
I'd say it was about 25th. 25th will give you a whole business week. Slowly.
But you'll be gone, really, the 25th. You will be gone.
As long as we have Tim to fill in and we have the other council members.
And
I
Dave-
did,
Dave will be here, so.
I did pay the money to Red Lodge Surveying and got up with them and worked through my lawyer and DEQ and the engineers we have now. And everything is in place for, because of where the second grinder is, which is the grinder for the house that the town made me put in. That's on the commercial property as well, not on the house property when everything was surveyed out. That grinder, there is an easement through the house, all the way through our commercial property for the sewage. And DEQ was okay with it, the attorneys were okay with it, everybody was okay with doing that. So as long as we have the sewage opened up so the sewage drains, there shouldn't be no problem with the house, and all that easement was already put in by Red Lodge Surveying, and everything is done for that. So I don't need anything from you as far as sewage goes, just fix that little thing in the sewage, and everything will be great.
Okay.
The water is the only thing, and everything is already put in, the easement's already been filed, everything's been done. It's been, engineer okayed it, everything's done.
So when are you gonna be back?
Probably won't be back, let's see, we're leaving the 17th, 18th, I probably be back until about the 25th, 26th.
Yeah, those 2 days work for me.
Okay, let's, leave it this way.
I'd rather you be here, because
Yeah.
you're the one that's gonna be handling.
That's why I'm
the
saying let's
locates
do it on
and
the,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
let's do it on the 25th or the 26th. What day is that, Jim?
25th.
Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or Friday.
Let's do it the 26th on a Friday. Will that work for you?
That's fine, I can make any time.
What time? 7:30?
Yeah, if we do 7:30, I can meet you.
Okay, so in the meantime, I will get a hold of the state tomorrow, see what it's gonna take for us to get an easement through there. And I will also get a hold of either Badger or Cotters and have them come out and locate those lines. And, so that we know exactly where they are, and they will flag them, so.
26th.
We could do 7 on 26, cause I won't be working if it's Friday. That way we can get in. and
At
out
7
real soon.
o'clock?
Yeah.
7 o'clock,
Okay. So the 26th at 7, and we'll try to get all of our information and stuff together and get it set up then, so we know where we're going with it.
Yeah, you know, we've been waiting, so it's time.
I know, and we've got so many things on our plate right now, we're trying to get as much done as we can with other projects and with, on Lover's Lane and you guys, and it's just, I know it's pretty convoluted sometimes, so.
Does there have to be any kind of resolution for a special meeting, or that's just scheduled?
Just schedule.
Just scheduled?
Yeah, we'll schedule it.
And posted.
Yeah, it has to be posted, yeah. And we will, actually, meet with the town attorney and council and see, you know, where we're going with this and make sure that we're doing it the right way.
Let me clarify something. You mentioned 2-inch line that's into the restaurant bar to comply with DEQ. Is that what we're saying as far as the water?
You need a bigger water line going to both the bar and the residential from what it,
Yeah.
right now you have one inch line going to both of those places.
Okay.
You need adequate water flow.
I was just
For
trying
both.
to clarify, you're talking
Yeah.
water, not sewer.
Yeah, water.
Well, the 2-inch line, you split your 1 inch off of.
Right.
the bar.
Yeah.
Right.
Our sewage comes out in a 2-inch.
But when you have one inch
inch
line going to a residential and one going to a commercial, I can tell you right now, commercial business, probably gonna use way more water, especially a restaurant, you're doing dishes constantly. Whereas a house, you got showers and stuff, but, yeah.
And especially on the tail end of that, if that restaurant becomes busy, that house won't have water on a
Right.
1-inch line.
Right.
A 2-inch is the only way to, unless you run just an independent 1-inch line
Unless you
all the
have
way to
two.
the residence, that would be the alternative. But a 2-inch line
Yeah.
would serve both of them.
Mm-hmm,
Tee off the 2-inch.
right, go to the curb box.
That'd work.
Now, the curb stop goes right on the edge of the house.
There has to be 2 curb stops,
One for,
for the restaurant and one for
One for the
Yeah,
house.
there already is one for the restaurant. Well, then 3. But they'll have to put a meter pit there.
that's right out in front of it.
It's on, back by the exercise part of that. But you'll have to put a meter pit there for the business.
Yeah, we're willing to pay for all that, that's not
And
our
then-
responsibility.
Go around the corner to the house,
Either
put the
that,
meter right in the
we're
garage.
if we go straight across, we just run over to Buffet and then to the house.
Yeah. That eliminates them lines that are underneath the building.
Yeah.
And it saves a couple of 100 feet of digging on the north end of the house line. You have to put a curb stop in right on the property line. She'll do that. That's
Yeah.
her business to do that.
And just let us know where you wanna bring the line in, so we put the curb stop in the right spot.
Yeah.
That's how the plumber have to look at it. See which would be most cost effective, straight across from two over or?
Well, you can't go straight across.
Why not?
They could if they got an easement all the way down from the.
You'd have to go
from the
right
state.
straight in front of the business, all the way down that way.
You already show it's halfway in front of the business.
Pardon me?
You're already showing it's halfway in front of the business.
That's already in, you don't have to dig that up. You can hook that line on back where that circle is there, where that 90 is. And then you eliminate two of them curb stops. One to the house, and one to the cabins. That's all eliminated.
Either way it gets done, it's gotta be done.
Any other discussion?
It's gonna be our homework for the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Move along.
So we need to table this until the,
But that's,
We already have a special meeting, so it's
26th.
already taken care of.
okay, so let's table this particular thing until the 26th.
Okay.
Then we'll open it back up on the 26th.
Let's see if Montana can cooperate for once. Or we could dig it,
We need
ask
that
them
motion.
later.
You can do that.
No, you've already said it.
I'd even dig it for you. How about that?
Okay, so we'll wait for the next item on the agenda.
Okay. We're moving on then. We've got the meeting set for the 26th of July at 7 o'clock.
Go ahead.
And in the meantime,
Just put a
we
little
will
bit
get the
more on.
information from the state for the easement, and I'll get a hold of Spencer or somebody to come out and locate those lines. Okay, we are going to discuss the number one well pump. We had a problem with the number one pump out at the well, and they came out, American Plumbing, or American Drilling came out and worked on that. And their recommendation is because the pump is setting in the tailpipe of the screen is below the screen where sand accumulates, so we need to fix that. And remove it and put in a 4-inch stainless steel pipe. And then reinstall the pump, so that it doesn't clog up with sand, and then that,
did we ever get
Causes.
a number from them, or?
yes,
This is just-
$1,000.
$1,000 to raise the pump, cut the pipe off, rethread it,
Rethread it
reinstall pipe
and
and
put it
pump.
back in, reinstall it.
Didn't they say the last time we were able to get by for a little bit, and is this something we should wait for on budget, or what are we feeling that? You got Timmy in the back.
Oh, Tammy,
If I recall right, Jeremy turned that pump off.
Right.
Because of that issue, it would burn it up.
Mhm.
And everybody was kind of like, you need to do this because if you have your other pump burn up or
Right.
something,
Yeah.
you're kind of stuck. I mean, it's cheaper than replacing your pump.
Well, they've already repaired that, the pump is operational.
It's operational, he chose not to use it because of that reason right now. It can be used, I don't know if it's gonna, it took him 9 years to suck up the sand to do it again, but,
Gotcha, so we still have a working backup.
We still have a working backup as we speak.
Yeah,
But-
pump number 2 is running.
And pump number 1 can run, just don't know how long it would,
Yeah.
You'd rather run another 9 years.
yes, before it does.
Oh, air, sorry.
So on these pumps, every time you overheat it or plug them up where you're tripping out, you're basically distinguishing and breaking down the varnish that are on the linings. And it's just gonna happen faster and faster every time.
Yep.
So I get we're on a tight budget and stuff, but you got 2 wells. You don't have a 3rd well. Most facilities have 3 wells so that they always have a backup.
And every time we have a blip in the power and an outage, it keeps wearing on all of that. It's,
So basically, from a professional opinion, I'd recommend getting it fixed.
Personally, I agree with it, Kurt. I think we need to have the pump fixed.
Something I've dealt with
I
many
know
times.
I know our budget is iffy and we don't know, but
Water's kind of a mess, so I make a motion to approve the funds to get it down to $1,000.
myself,
so we have a motion to approve the repair of well number 1 and a second, all in favor?
I,
Did he say that? Okay. Okay, next thing we're looking at is it's time to clean our water tanks. What they do is they go in and they dive and they get all of the crap off of the water, the sides of the water tanks, and test the water and make sure that all the seams are tight and everything, they're not having a leak or anything anywhere, so. Look real carefully at the bids because only one bid includes all of the reports and paperwork after they do the cleaning.
We've been using Midco, correct?
Shirley,
Yes,
did we ever check in on the ladder issue? Because we've been brought up, I know when we did the budget last year, it was discussed that there was possibly one of the ladders was, I believe in one of the
right,
reports.
and
where
they'll check
we-
that, yeah, they'll check that when they go in and inspect the whole tank and do all of that stuff.
so we do have kind of a contingency that if we need to repair it, that we'll,
Was there a comment that it needed to be repaired though?
We don't know for sure because I'm not sure what's going on with that. I haven't, we don't have
It's not in
any,
last year's report, or
No,
the previous report?
they haven't cleaned the tank for 4 years.
What was his comments in 4 years? Because that was what we were basing it off of, was the fact that it was gonna need replaced. I know when we went over the budgets last year, that was brought up in conversation, so. I know that the report's never been brought forth since that budget was discussed.
Right.
So,
And because of the, well, I'll put this delicately, not putting any blame on anybody, but because of the way things were filed and we are having a hard time finding
that report.
anything.
Anything
Okay.
and everything in the office.
Could you also just call them and ask them what,
I
to
can call,
replace
I
one
can,
ladder, what would
yeah,
it
because
cost
I
to
think
just
that
have it?
Midco was the one that did it last time, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago? They did the cleaning up there. And,
That way the council and community knows what you're looking at
and I
for.
can call, Sam, cause this is the guy that has called me like 3 times a week for the last 6 months. And, have him send us a copy of that report.
Oh, Sam's no longer there, so that'd be great.
Sam's gone. Okay. I will call him and get a copy of the report.
And I think that's the only company that has the cost of all the reports that Midco's, the rest of them have no reports where they have to send them into state or anywhere else.
Right.
so that would be an additional cost.
It's an additional cost, but it still comes almost a little under, or maybe just a little over some of those, depending. And there's one of them there that has estimate for 4 years. It's great, and you get a cheaper deal if you do it every,
What's the discount based on 100% scheduling cooperation.
That's if you schedule it for the next 3 or 4 cleanings, and then that's what they give you. They give you a
Yeah.
discount of, what is it, $300?
Something like that, yeah. It's like $2,600 if you schedule for.
$27.85, and if you schedule for the next 3 cleanings or 4, they'll take $370 off.
The
Is that
only thing
every
that-
But we
time or
don't
just
get any of
once?
the reports for
Every year.
DEQ or
Every year.
anything else.
2,600, and that does not have any reports to go
Yeah,
with it.
what
Yeah,
about
so we're still better off with
24-15? Is that
Midco.
gonna be every year or just this year?
Just this year. This was-
Right, we're only required to have the tanks cleaned once every 4 years.
Yeah,
24, 15,
there's all different ones.
50,
And they,
28.
this one's scheduled every 3 years.
Every 3 years at 26, and then, yeah, and that's your break. And then if you do it every year, it's 28.75, with no
This is
reports.
different.
Yeah, that's a different one.
27.85.
That's this one.
Yeah, and the,
See, that's supposed to be
Water
every
tower.
3 years, and you do it with them every 3 years. And then this is
28.50,
28.
but they don't do any of the,
They don't do,
Reporting.
they don't do
They
any,
don't.
the only Midco's the only one that gave us the bid with
I
reporting.
think it's a little bit better having it written out, but you can't mess it with mid-coast and stuff.
yeah. Well, they do give the reports, and they also send all the reports to the state and to DEQ, so.
I will call them tomorrow and get a copy of the last report regarding that ladder and how much it's gonna
When
cost.
is this due?
We should have had it done last month, actually.
Is this part of the requirement for the grant and loans and the contract with the?
Mhm.
Well, we need to make a motion on here.
Mhm. You need to accept one of the bids.
I make a motion we accept Midco.
I'll second
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve, accept the bid from Midco for cleaning the water tanks and maintenance. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, zoning. We have-
Midco's up on the right. There you go.
That's this amount, and then we're gonna add,
it. Is this your first time hearing of this one?
the, if we don't have reports, it's $200 for each report, so,
And then you're gonna need more to add if you have to replace a ladder.
yeah.
that'd be a one-time deal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they'll check it, and they'll
Stick
do all
that
the
in
maintenance
there,
and
probably.
check everything that needs to be done.
Now, then, I mean, it's right, take it away from here.
I don't see Mr. Trimmer here, but you have all his,
I've got his, yeah.
everybody's got his.
Right, so, for zoning, James Schuma's, applied for an extension, permit to put an extension on his garage, and all of his paperwork is in your packets.
No, this is the first time I've seen of it, so I'd personally like some time with it myself, but that and the thing that I'm in question, I don't know if they just screwed up on his date, but the signatures of his neighbors from the
That's
Seven,
Oh, I
seven
think
of
he's,
14.
he's
That was
saying
the
that was
previous one. He has
approved
a
for
new
his
one in.
original building.
There's two of them.
Yeah, and so the original one is the one
Oh,
he
there's
submitted
the
here,
19,
yeah.
gotcha.
And then, he's submitted, drawings and everything with it. Very professional.
I personally don't wanna vote on something again that I don't get to see myself, that's my opinion, but
You can do what you wanna do.
yeah.
You want to go over and take a look at it?
Yeah, I would, at least to, since we don't have a zoning committee, I mean, at least maybe two of us get together and just go double check and make it short and sweet, even if we had to do a special meeting, I mean, we could tie him in to, cause I'll be off on that Friday the 26th. At 6 o'clock, we could swing in, table it till then and approve his deal then. That's my opinion.
Well, it is up to you. It's
We're gonna
your
table it
opinion.
until next meeting also.
Okay. I just didn't know how urgent if he was to break ground on this or what, so. If he was
Is there any
here.
issues with that? Hal?
What's that?
Any issues with that?
No, if he makes the motion to table, because he's not prepared to vote, that's appropriate.
I make a motion, we table this till the next meeting.
Till next meeting. I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to table the zoning permit to the next meeting in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah,
And you want that meeting in August then?
Yeah, we'll just,
Okay.
August 5th?
I mean, everything looks in order,
Once Dave's twice shy?
Let's say problems.
Do I have a copy of the? Oh, yes, okay. In correspondence, we have an exit letter from Spencer, clerk box. And he is saying, this is from Spencer Stone at clerk box at waterman.com. Subject Frauberg exit plan. Greetings, let me know that my contract, let me know my contract with Frauberg is coming to an end and here at the end of the month. So in closing our contract, here's a list of things that I prepared for thoughts. Chlorine delivery, Jeremy can come to Billings for chlorine, pick up chlorine from Billings. We have the best price in town. He can schedule a pickup or I can deliver it if necessary. Energy Labs, an account needs to be reopened there for all lab purchases and results to be sent to Town Hall. Data will need to be entered into the EPA website for sewer information. The June data will be mailed to you and needs to be submitted by the 30th. Contract information will be changed with DEQ for the system operator. When lead and copper results come back, those results need to be mailed to each homeowner. Get familiar with and monitor a sampling schedule for Fromberg. I believe Jeremy learned this in class. Monthly sampling will need to be done and delivered to the lab. Consumer confidence report done every year is already done for 2018. Take us off the list for alarm call-outs. Maintenance of the equipment and sewer treatment plant. Fluid will need to be changed at 6,000 hours on the blowers. Submit daily chlorine readings to DEQ. Need to set up your own username, password for the Net DMR website. And then he goes on to other things that we need to do. And I have asked him that if he would be on call, if we needed any help, we could give him a call, and he said he'd be happy to comply with that. So, and he gives us an hourly rate with a minimum 1 hour charge for phone or other trip visits. So it has been a pleasure to work with you for the last 18 months, and I wish the town of Fromberg the best in their future. And we do thank Spencer very much for his continued service and concern for the town.